So I think for me the key learning things is the importance of communication. There's been so much along the journey where as a parent things haven't been communicated to me properly. I mean, going from the beginning to not being told that he looks like he has dysmorphic features, like reading that myself, having to do my own research on it and not knowing who to turn to ask about that. Bedside manner is a huge thing, and being told life-changing news shouldn't be taken lightly. It shouldn't just be dropped at you at the bedside. You should both, as parents, you both have a right to be told together, and just a bit of empathy in delivering that news as well. I think they're two real key points for me. And again with his aspirin as well. I shouldn't have had to keep chasing and chasing. I mean, in the end we were dealing with 4 different hospitals and eventually the communication got there, but it took Romeo suffering for it to get there, which should never have happened. I think as well, just listening to the parents is a huge thing for me. He had so many different diagnoses and no one was one expert on all of his diagnoses, whereas I was the expert on him. I knew him, I knew what he was like every day, and if I knew that he wasn't right, then there was something not right with him. So just to be listened to, because there were times in that journey where it felt like I was going crazy, like maybe I'm overthinking it and he's not as bad as he is because I didn't have any validation. And then the last thing is relationship building. I think had Romeo have died in PICU when he went into organ failure, I would have probably been quite bitter about the whole situation, but having managed to build that relationship with palliative care and actually being supported, it's made me grateful that we've been able to have that 5 months at home with him, and I felt valued and listened to. And yeah, I think that relationship's really important, because the first time we met the palliative care doctor we had a really negative view of them, and actually now ending this journey we think they're amazing. And I can say to other parents going through it as well that they're there to help you, they're not just there for the doom and gloom. So I think at home having our community nurse was really valuable. She came in probably a couple of times a week to see us, to take blood tests, and we had to do COVID tests for if we needed to go to the hospice at all. So she would be constantly coming in to do dressing changes and seeing us and just generally seeing how Romeo is. And she was a great bridge to dealing with palliative care doctors as well. If we ever had any concerns, we could get on the phone to the palliative care doctors there and then, or arrange a video call with them. And at one time they did actually do a home visit as well, which was important for us because actually Romeo liked being at home and he was comfortable at home, and they can see him how he is in his environment. So that was great, and it worked well at home having the continuing care in place. That was really important, and especially as I was heavily pregnant as well, we, with the community nurses and the palliative care consultants, we managed to build those days up gradually so we had more help at home. And also just dealing with his symptoms. If I had any concerns or if he was struggling with anything, I knew that they were just a phone call away and we could manage it with medications. So I'm grateful we've had a lot of support at home and being able to care for Romeo at home, which was important for us because he didn't like being in hospital or in the hospice. He liked his home and his bed. So I think for me, I'd like to celebrate just how amazing the community nurse was. I mean, the whole time we were at home, she was so helpful in getting medications from the hospital to us, in terms of sorting things out, being that kind of bridge of communication between paediatrician and the palliative care doctors and the cardiologists. And I think it's probably not completely her role, but she kind of took it upon herself and went above and beyond for us as a family. Also the palliative care doctors, both of them that looked after Romeo, were incredible, and they kind of restored our faith in the NHS. I think we've had so many experiences and situations that could make us really bitter towards what's happened to Romeo, and there's been circumstances where he's suffered unnecessarily, but they've given us something to be grateful for. Just being able to spend that 5 months at home with him was so important to us, and instead of really tragic memories, we've got some great memories at home with him, and it hasn't all been trauma.